Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Make or Break Sports Podcast. We got a little pick'em special for you guys here today. Our first ever pick'em. We got a big college football weekend coming up here this Saturday, and we're going to be talking about it here. We're going to be getting into some ranking or some pick'ems. We got some spreads. We're going to start out with some college, then do some NFL stuff we got going on. Ben, what's going on, man?
Yeah, man, not much, dude. Just hanging out, just going through the picks, seeing what we got for this week. Got my eye on what games I'm gonna be betting on this weekend, especially. So I always do a little bit of college, I always do a little bit of NFL. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna jump right into it. So how we do these, guys, is we don't pick every game, but we try and go through and pick out what we think are the best games of the weekend. Normally it's ranked versus ranked or rivalry games, but there's occasionally the unranked games for college as well. This week's a tough week for college because the last weekend was obviously the best weekend for college football probably. But this weekend, there's not as many good games, but there are a few. So we're going to dump right into it. Matt, we got my number 15, UCF Knights, 14-point favorites traveling to Temple. What do you like there?
Well, I'm going to go with you, UCF Knights. I like UCF over Temple. Temple is completely trash. The cherry and the white is trash. I've watched them play this year, and they're not good. And UCF's going to roll them.
Yeah, UCF's been beating their opponents by, I think the average is like 28 or something like that points. So yeah, I got UCF covering. So, and guys, just so you know, all of these are done via the spread. So if we bet, for example, that game there, we think UCF is going to win by more than 14 points against Temple. They are the favorite at Temple. So just in case you are unfamiliar with how that is set up. So
even with the 14 points, I think UCF is going to win by probably 21, 24, something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we're getting to our second game. Nebraska at number 10, Penn State. My Nittany Lions I got on right here. Ben, what do you think about that game right there? 26. Spread is 26. Penn State's 26-point favorites.
I do think Penn State will win the game, but I do think Nebraska is going to cover. I think it'll be about 21. I'm thinking, honestly, 3 touchdowns. I think we'll either get to a point where A, Penn State will put in the backups, or B, it'll just be a close game going on. I know it's probably – I don't know if it's going to be cold up there this week or not, or what it's going to be like. Penn State, I do think will win. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but I think it'll be closer than 26.
I got the Nittany Lions covering 26. Saquon Barkley probably going to be his last game in Beaver Stadium. We got a big senior night ahead of us for a lot of our seniors, so good send-off to the seniors. I think Penn State absolutely massacres Nebraska. I think they're going to come out motivated. I think they come out and win by 30+.
All right. We're just going to go through these. Yeah, we'll go through these pretty quick. We got number 16, Mississippi State, 11.5-point favorite at Arkansas. I got Mississippi State. I don't think there's any way. Arkansas is not very good. Firing their athletic director, I think Mississippi State runs away with this one.
As do I. I am on Mississippi State as well. I think they win by at least 2 touchdowns. Arkansas is garbage.
Beautiful. Navy.
Let's go Navy.
Yeah, you got that one. Yep.
Navy at Notre Dame. Notre Dame, 8-point favorites against the midshipmen.
Yeah, I'm taking Navy here. I think Navy's they're not great by any means, but they do run that triple option, something that Notre Dame probably hasn't seen anything like this year. Notre Dame just got crushed last week, so I think they're going to be a little sluggish as well, kind of down in the dumps. And I think Navy at least covers. Notre Dame maybe wins, but hey, 7 points, that's a win for Navy. So
I think no way.
I guess.
I think Notre Dame comes out after that loss to Miami. They're going to be fired up. Now we're going to see what kind of coach Kelly is. We'll see if he can get them revved up. I think they come out and smoke Navy.
All right, moving right along. We got our probably the only ranked matchup of the weekend. Number 24, Michigan versus number 5. At number 5, Wisconsin, I should say. Wisconsin's going to be only 7.5-point favorite in this game. And I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to take Michigan. I think Michigan maybe pulls the upset here. I don't know if it's going to be an outright win or not, but 7.5, that means if Michigan keeps it within a touchdown, they'll win.
So. Sophomore Brandon Peters coming in to replace John O'Corn and the injured Wilton Spate. Peters has played very well in relief of those guys. It looked like last week Michigan finally started to get their offense back together, and their defense has always been very good. So I think Michigan comes in and actually I do think they will win outright against Wisconsin. I think the Badgers go down.
There you go. Top 10 team going down.
All right, on to Texas at West Virginia, the Longhorns versus the Mountaineers. What do you like, Ben? West Virginia is 3.5-point favorites at home.
Yeah, I think West Virginia is going to win this. Texas has been too up and down for me to go like to be confident in them this year. Will Greer still been throwing the ball up and down like that. So, and to me, I just think West Virginia, I think they've played a majority of the better teams kind of well. They fought Oklahoma State for a while, fought TCU for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and take West Virginia here to cover the 3.5.
As the Great League Corso would say, not so fast, Ben. I'm going with Texas. I'm going with Texas not only to cover, but to win this game as well. Okay. I think, big thing back, all-star offensive lineman Connor Williams returning from injury. He's been sidelined since, I believe, week 3. Returning this week. He's one of the best offensive linemen in college football, projected to be a top 10 pick. Comes back. I think that gives a boost to their offense. They've played very well they played some tough teams very well. They lost by only 10 to Iowa State, lost by 3 to USC, lost by 3 to Oklahoma State, and lost by 5 to Oklahoma. I know none of them wins, but they play very, very tough football in this Big 12. I like Texas. I'm not a big Mountaineer guy. I don't really believe in Will Greer that much.
That's fair. Yeah, no worries there.
Texas goes into the Mountaineers' home stadium.
That's more of a homer pick too. My aunt went to West Virginia, so she'd be very disappointed if I didn't pick the Mountaineers. So
Longhorns getting that dub.
So all right, moving right along. Number 12, TCU, 6.5-point favorite versus Texas Tech. This is probably one of my favorite games of the weekend to watch. I just love watching Texas Tech play. They always run up team to put up a lot of points no matter who they're playing. TCU with a pretty decent defense, but we'll see what Cliff Kingsbury can do. So 6.5, Matt, what do you like for TCU? I'm
going with TCU. Cliff Kingsbury, decent coach, terrible defense. TCU bounces back. I think they get a win by at least 2 scores.
Yeah, I agree as well. I'm going to take TCU 6.5, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game's a shootout or TCU either blows them away. I don't think it'll be close. I think it'll be one or the other.
No, sir. The Horned Frogs get that W.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens there. And the last college game, Matt, go ahead and take it away.
We got North Carolina State, number 19 North Carolina State, going to Wake Forest. North Carolina State is only a 1.5-point favorite against Wake Forest. Ben, what do you like here?
No, actually, Matt, Wake is the favorite in this game. At 1.5. Wake is the favorite at home against a ranked NC State. And I'm going to go ahead and take Wake in that because I think Wake has what it takes to beat this team. Wake's fought pretty well in a lot of the games this year, a lot of tough games. And at home, they're pretty good. They're a very underrated team. They're going to go ahead and beat NC State at home as the favorite.
I must have misread. I could not believe that they would be favored against NC State. I'm taking NC State now even more confidently. NC State's a tough football team. They have a great defensive player in Bradley Chubb. I think he dominates, and I think that the Wolfpack get the win against Wake Forest.
All right. So that concludes the college picks. So before you guys watch game day, you can be checking us out before they tell you what to pick, because obviously we know what we're doing more than they do.
Way more.
So,
way
more.
I
mean, I don't know, Kirk Herbstreit, I don't know what he's got going on, but
he's a Penn State guy though, so shout out to Kirk Herbstreit.
We're gonna go ahead and move to the. He went to Ohio State, man.
Yeah, but he's been championing Penn State all year.
I know. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and go to the NFL. We have, I think, 7 NFL games we picked for combined. Yeah, 7 NFL games for you guys this week. Not a ton of good games, but like I said, we do the spread to make it a little more challenging for us. Again, all these picks, guys, are going toward our challenge we have to see who's going to have to buy 2K or Madden, Matt, for whoever wins the challenge.
Not so fast, Ben. I'm feeling a comeback here.
I mean, you're only down by 2, so it's not much of a comeback. But,
yeah,
so here we go.
We'll make it happen.
Go ahead. Starting out with the Week 11 games, we got Detroit Lions, 3-point favorites at the Chicago Bears. Detroit struggled a little bit last week with Cleveland, but I'm going to go ahead and take Detroit to cover 3 points.
Yeah, I got Detroit covering 3 points. Trubisky still not quite there. The Bears still not quite there. I like the Lions in this one. Baltimore at Green Bay. Baltimore is 2-point favorites in Lambeau. Ben, what do you think here?
Right here, I'm actually going to go ahead and take Green Bay. I think Green Bay played pretty well last week. Hundley finally looked better. I know I think they played Chicago last week, so I know that wasn't a great matchup per se for them, but I do think that Green Bay is starting to find their own a little bit. Baltimore's not very good at all. I'm going to go ahead and just take Green Bay, and I think Hundley gets it done this week.
Yeah, Baltimore is tough. It's hard to say what Baltimore is going to come out, but Brett Hundley, the main thing. I mean, you don't have Aaron Jones, you don't have Ty Montgomery. Brett Hundley struggling a little bit. I think the decent defense for the Ravens, I think they come into Green Bay and get the win.
So, yeah. But, I mean, the game of the week, though, we got the Jared Goff, the Los Angeles Raiders, and the Case Keenum-led Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is going to be 2.5-point favorite at home. Matt, who do you like here?
I'm going with Minnesota, mainly because of the home game. That was tough for me. I really wanted to take the Rams in this one, but I'm feeling Case Keenum. He's been hot. I think that they have a great defense, a fast-paced defense, probably one of the best defenses that Goff will face or has faced at least. So we'll see how for real he is. This one came down to home field advantage for me. I'm taking Minnesota at 2.5-point favorites.
Beautiful, because I'm taking the Rams. I think the Rams are one of the hottest teams in football right now. They just have playing with a bunch of confidence. They got Aaron Donald on that defense. They got Todd Gurley, who is a running back so I don't know if they've seen anybody quite like that this year. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams on the road as the underdogs.
Very cool, very cool. We have the Washington Redskins at New Orleans Saints. The Saints 7.5-point favorites. Who do you like here in this matchup, Ben? Washington coming in 7.5-point dogs.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take New Orleans. I think Washington's been one of the more disappointing teams this year, and I think New Orleans has been one of the more impressive teams this year, as we talked about in our power rankings in our last podcast, which you can go check out on our YouTube and subscribe to that channel so you always get alerts when our videos like this come out. But, I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints here at home.
Yeah, I'm going New Orleans. They're playing too well right now. They have a great running game going, and their defense is playing phenomenal with Marshawn Lattimore, the sensational rookie. I think they win by at least, I would say probably 10, 14 points at least. I'm not really a fan of Captain Kirk this year.
So, and moving right along, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the falling Denver Broncos. Denver is actually 2.5-point favorite in this game at home at Sports Authority Field. So, Matt, what do you have?
I'm taking Denver only because I think that at 2.5-point favorites, I think the home field advantage kicks in. I think Andy Dalton struggling a little bit this year. The Cincinnati Bengals have an underrated defense, but I think that they come in and it's going to be a close game. Probably not a lot of points going to be scored in this game, to be honest with you. I think this has the makings of a 13-10, 16-10, something low-scoring kind of game. I think that the Denver Broncos do get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go ahead against you here again. I'm going to take Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I think, starting to more and more, as weird as it sounds, might be finding their own a little bit. You know, the couple of their losses have been tough this year. They lost to Green Bay in overtime with Aaron Rodgers still playing. So I'm going to go ahead and take Cincinnati on the road here as 2.5-point dogs. But, so, I mean, that's another, we got another opposite pick right there.
Big night game. The Philadelphia Eagles marching into Dallas as 3.5-point favorites. No Ezekiel Elliott, possibly no Tyron Smith, possibly no Sean Lee, possibly the MVP for the Eagles quarterback, Carson Wentz. What do you think?
Possibly another win here for the Eagles. Another win here for the Eagles. 3.5, I'm taking them all day.
I'm big on the Eagles.
They might win by, I might go. This might be, if you're looking for something to do, like, interesting for one of these games, this might be the game where, honestly, I go and take if you go on Bovada, especially, which is a site that we use a lot, you can take what's called an alternate spread, and you can bet even higher. Like, you can take the Eagles at you could probably take them for -7 or 8 here, and you will get a plus 400 or something like that. And that's probably what I might do for this weekend, because this game to me is just screaming like the Eagles are going to blow
with
them out.
With the injuries and the depletion of the Cowboys lineup due to
everything happening with Jerry Jones right now too. I just think that's another.
I think this has the makings of a potential blowout. Go Birds!
So, and last but not least, we got the Monday night game this week. A good one. We got the Atlanta Falcons at the Seattle Seahawks going to 12th man. Seahawks are going to be 3-point favorite at home. Obviously, you don't have Richard Sherman. They do get the Earl Thomas back, so we'll see what happens there. They're supposedly get Earl Thomas back. Atlanta maybe without Devonta Freeman. Matt, I think we both lean in the same way here, but
I'm going Seattle.
Seattle.
I'm going to go Seattle. I don't think it's going to be by a whole lot. I think probably about a touchdown. I think both teams right now are going to struggle a little bit because of injury. Obviously, Sherman hurts the defense for the Seahawks, but then no Devonta Freeman kind of neutralizes that for the offense of the Falcons. The Falcons have struggled a little bit this year in big games. Went into Dallas, hosted Dallas, and they were able to beat them. But without Ezekiel Elliott, without Tyron Smith, without Sean Lee, a depleted Cowboys team, I'm not buying that win too much. I think Seattle at home gets this job done.
Yeah, I got Seattle as well. 3 points. I mean, that's just a touchdown or a field goal or 2 field goals, whatever. But yes, so we got a couple different picks going on there, guys. This was, like I said, we're going to try and do one of these every week for you. Hopefully earlier in the week, so we can maybe get, if there's ever next week, especially with Thanksgiving, we're going to try and do it earlier in the week and post it for you guys because there are a lot of NFL games Thanksgiving. There's college games Thanksgiving, and especially next Friday with my UCF Knights playing USF. So that's our big rivalry game. But So we hope you guys like these. If there's any games you want us to feature or want us to pick, or if you have any questions about betting in general or who you want to pick, if there's any lines you like, let us know. We're both decent. We don't want to say good by any means, but like we both kind of know trends a little
My
bit.
track record might say otherwise, but
Matt's,
I'll still give you an educated guess.
My track record's a little bit better than Matt's. So I've had a couple.
I'll still give you an educated guess.
I've been on a little bit of a hot streak lately, so we'll see. Hopefully, I can keep it going there into the
guys.
Thanks
for watching. As always, find us on social media: Twitter @M or B Sports. Find us on Facebook, Make or Break Sports. Sub to the channel, like the videos, comment, share, subscribe. Do whatever you guys got to do. Get after us however you want. It's all about interaction. We'd like to hear what you think. If there's anything you'd like to see or to us to talk about, always let us know. We appreciate the support.
Yeah, so you guys, thanks a lot for watching. You guys take care and good luck out there. And remember, if you win because of us, 10%.
Happy betting. Yeah, I was going to say happy betting, guys. Take it easy. Make or Break Sports. High hopes, low blows.